Hi, Frankie Rodriguez here at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, Wizard World Comic Con 2011 with the Blue World Order. We got Big Stevie Cool, the Blue Meanie, and of course we got HollyWood Nova. Guys, let me ask you this. How did you get started in professional wrestling?
I actually went on a reality show called Tough Enough, and I'm sorry, that's how it is now. I actually started in 1991. I went to a wrestling school where I met Stevie, the stud boy, Steve Richards, my first week in. I was trained by an old timer. I got stretched, and 20 years later, here I am.
Who was your trainer?
Iron Mike Sharp. Iron Mike Sharp, Bricktown, New Jersey.
Canada's greatest athlete.
Yes.
How did you get started, Blue Meanie?
Luckily, I found Al Snow's old camp out in Lima, Ohio. This way before he started in Smoky Mountain. Yes, Body Slammers Wrestling Gym in Lima, Ohio, before he was in Smoky Mountain or ECW or WWE. And, he's having these legendary matches with Sabu, and that's kind of how I found him and started training with him in 94.
94. Now, you were getting stretched out by Iron Mike Sharp. What do you remember?
That was the second time. I got stretched out before I went to Iron Mike Sharp's. Then I got stretched out again by Iron Mike Sharp. And then when we started ECW together, I was getting stretched by Taz, by Perry. I've been stretched my entire life. What's going on here?
He's not lying. He's not lying.
So,
You guys are killing me.
So what would be your fondest memory of ECW, the original ECW?
I'd have to say this. Without a doubt, just to stumble onto something that was to be a one-night parody that was included in every single one that we've done. And we did probably a good 8 or 9 by that point. Yeah. They were pretty decent, but when we came out with the signs and we did all that stuff, which he came up with the name Blue World Order and names for us, and we all together, little things like coming through the crowd with the signs, and then obviously just stealing stuff from the NWO was easy enough, like sayings like we're taking over.
NWO. I never heard of anything called the NWO. I don't even know what it is. This is a totally original idea.
We have really polled people and asked them, like, what was first, the Blue World Order, or actually what was first, BWO or NWO, and 8 out of 10 people say BWO. So I'm sorry.
Nice. So other than the BWO, because like you said, you guys did a lot of gimmicks, which one was your favorite gimmick that you did other than the BWO and ECW?
Probably the promos we did with Todd Gordon in his office where I was Blue Dust.
Still have those.
Yeah. We were trying out he was pitching Todd new ideas for new characters for ECW. I came in as Colonel Meanie, and then eventually came out Blue Dust. And I started crawling across his desk, and it ended with, him screaming, Richard! And it's cuts. And I'm, just being Blue Dust across his desk. And the night we did Blue Dust in the park, when I almost got arrested, I went to buy body paint, to paint myself as Blue Dust. Forgot to paint, so I had to cover myself in blue cake icing. And we're in this park in the middle of New York, and 10 seconds after we finished rapping, the police spotlight shines on us. I'm bare naked and covered my junk, and the cop was like, I don't know what you're doing, or whatever it is, just please stop. I don't want to do the paperwork. So, I don't want to do the paperwork.
You had a thought?
Well, the bad part was that Sandman volunteered to quell the situation, which made it slightly worse, especially since he had 2 cans of beer, 1 in each hand. But I was going to go back to that Todd Gordon one. If you really watch that closely and listen, I'm on the phone with Mr. Heyman saying, yes, I know Paul is cleaning his room, but could you get him? We have a great idea for the show.
Nice. So probably one of the most controversial gimmicks you guys were in was the Sandman Raven crucifixion.
The Jackson 5. Jackson 5 was very controversial, but the Raven cross. Hey, look, I'll be honest with you. You go back and watch that. Personally, I hate saying this. My hands never touched that cross, and I'm pretty sure yours didn't either. Did it
no,
really?
I don't
Mine
know.
didn't. I'm telling you right. I look. It's wrestling. We get thrown in ropes and bounce off them. It's a work. So to me, any iconology you throw out there should be taken as such. But people really got bent. I don't know who got bent out of shape. But this is a promotion that showed basically anything and everything. So how certain people got bent out of shape over that, I don't know, man.
I think it was more the Kurt Angle factor than anything, but
I mean, I just saw the WWE 2 years ago do an angle where they booked God for a pay-per-view match. Now, God didn't show up that night as far as I know. I don't know if God had to have a dark match before that. I don't know if God had a long-term contract with the WWE. I don't know if he had a downside or what. But I still, to this day, don't know why everybody got so up in arms about.
Did they send God to Louisville?
No, God gets royalties, yeah. But I don't know why everybody got so mad about that.
Hey, but by the way, didn't WWE 2 weeks after we did it have the Undertaker crucify somebody on the cross, and they had the cross brought out like maybe 6 weeks in a row?
I'm pretty sure it was Stephanie who was on the cross because her father was going to sacrifice her.
Yeah. Well, no, there's not. I don't like God. Is that supposed to? That doesn't sound edgy at all. Controversial.
I didn't get it, man. I just.
Okay, now your runs into WWE. Were you happy with your Simon Dean character?
Absolutely loved it. Nova made a little bit of money in ECW. Simon Dean made a lot. I love being Simon Dean. It's just me in real life. I mean, I had a Simon system. It was fantastic. I loved it, but I have no desire to ever do it again. So.
Gotcha. How about your run into WWE, Meanie?
I loved it. I got paid to see the world. I got to go to 48 of the 50 states in 3 countries on Vince's time. I got to work with some of the most talented people in the world. I got the best exposure of my life. But, ECW was awesome. It's something that will never be replicated. I feel like I got to be a part of something really cool and a little bit of something that could never be replaced. I mean, I was very fortunate for for just being there my first 2 years into the business and getting to learn from such a good learning tree like Terry Funk, Sabu, Dreamer, everybody who came through looked out for each other.
Right.
And that's something you don't really see that much anymore. People taking care of the young guys. So I've been blessed.
You don't see it at all.
How about your right to censor? Were you happy with the way the right to censor went for you?
No, I think, I was happy with the way it went, but I think the most fun I had in WWE was when I got to do Stevie Night Heat. And, he was just that show nobody cared about. Nobody watched it. That's the reason why I was the general manager for 6 or 7 months. But it was the most fun. It was the most like ECW, where Coach, Al Snow, the people I worked with on the show, we all had a hand in creating something fun and organic. And it was a chance for me to be entertaining on my own without someone handing me a script and telling me exactly what to say. And that's what I think's wrong today. It's way too scripted, and they don't let things kind of go off the. That's why you think this whole CM Punk thing is a shoot. Well, we talked about it before. The Office would not let it. They wouldn't.
He's allowed to say these things. I give him credit for running with the ball, but I'm having people acting like it's real. If it was real, it wouldn't be off. They would hit the switch. It's flipped. It's done.
You should hear the fans calling into the studio. Oh my God, CM Punk! He's breaking the walls down.
If CM Punk really went into business for himself, Vince McMahon himself would go out there and beat the shit out of him, and he could do it.
Yeah. Hey, now I ran across you guys at the original One Night Stand, and all of you guys. Well, you had a broken jaw, if I remember right, or some with your jaw. From the original One Night Stand. No? Yeah?
Talking about 2005?
Yeah.
No, I needed knee surgery. I was getting knee surgery. Yeah, I had a broken kneecap, and I needed to go in for knee surgery. I had torn meniscus.
Now, should have the ECW legend ended that night with the original One Night Stand?
Are you pointing the microphone at me? No, you know what? I have a different take on the business now than before. I don't look at it like in idealistic terms. I look at it from business terms. Like, someone here might say, oh, you're just going to the stupid Chicago Comic-Con. But for me, it's a good, positive, productive way to meet the fans and make extra money. We had a great thing. We're still friends. We don't look like we're about to die in 2 days. We look good. And if we can make money with this gimmick until 2030, we're going to do it.
I mean, that's a lot like ECW. I mean, when the internet was, starting to explode and everything, we would have our own fan conventions, So they come into something like the Comic-Con, it's a lot like we already did in ECW, where, if we weren't wrestling in front of the fans, we're back at the hotel doing Q&As or, drinking with the fans,
Right.
And there was that common bond, that we, you don't get to see too much between wrestler and fan. So, I mean, this is awesome, I'm a people watcher anyway. I love to watch. I could go to a mall. I could go to a mall, sit on a bench, and just stare at people and be entertained for hours. So just to get here and be able to, work, it's awesome.
Do you guys got a website or anything you want people to know about?
Mostly on Twitter. Twitter.com/TheBlueMeanie, THEE. Some dork stole the Blue Meanie, so I haven't been able to get it. But Twitter.com/TheBlueMeanie.
I'm trying to find my card so I can put it right in your camera. I'm sorry. Here it is. Mine is yeah, I got it right here.
Right there.
T4show.com, right there. There's my Twitter. You go there, I have all my tech stuff. And yes, my body still looks like that. It's not photoshopped. I didn't use the Adobe Creative Suite for that. Thank you.
All right, I'm Frankie Rodriguez here at the Donald D. Stevens Convention Center, Wizard World Comic Con 2011 with the Blue World Order.